Right now, the agricultural state of Haryana is tearing itself apart. In the central and southern districts, farmers are pumping groundwater at such an aggressive rate for water-thirsty crops that the earth is cracking, leaving thousands of acres completely parched and depleted. But if you travel to the western edge of the exact same state, you hit the opposite extreme. The industrial farming push has choked the soil, causing toxic waterlogging and suffocating salt buildup. This dual collapse, drought on one side, toxic floods on the other, occurs when an agricultural system operates in total defiance of the natural world. For centuries, under the ancient Vedic economic system, Indian villages were self-sufficient manufacturing hubs. Everyone from the blacksmith to the weaver created the tools, clothes, and chemicals locally, while cities served simply as trading hubs. That autonomy disappeared after 1947. Policymakers looked to Western models to boost production, shifting manufacturing out of the villages and into centralized urban factories. This created an economic trap. Today, the farmer is forced to buy every single input, hybrid seeds, machinery, and chemical fertilizers, at maximum retail price. They have zero control over their costs. This chart shows the squeeze. After paying maximum retail price for all those inputs, the farmer must sell their multiplied harvest at the minimum support price. They buy at the highest rate and sell at the lowest. By shifting production to the cities, the modern agricultural system took an independent wealth creator and turned them into a trapped, heavily indebted consumer. Governments try to fix this with top-down infrastructure schemes and rural subsidies, but these interventions fail at a structural level. The 2015 Sumit Bose Committee report reveals the math of deploying these schemes. To manage infrastructure across India's 680,000 villages, the government needs an engineer, manager, and accountant in every single one. At a modest 50,000 rupees monthly salary, that workforce requires an impossible 12 lakh crore rupees every month. It exceeds the national budget. Localized attempts haven't fared much better. In the 1980s, hefty subsidies built thousands of village biogas plants. They collapsed because the science was incomplete, leaving behind a toxic, disease-causing slurry. You cannot rescue rural economies with impossible external funding. The only viable path is to take the very things poisoning the village and convert them into an asset. Every village in India possesses an untapped resource. It's their collective liability. Thousands of tons of livestock manure, agricultural waste, and raw sewage flooding into open ponds. This waste is packed with nitrogen and carbon. The reason it rots is a biological bottleneck. The severe pollution has suffocated the natural microbes in the water, sending them into a deep, dormant state. This is where precise microbiology steps in. At sunrise, a specific botanical extract is mixed into the pond. This liquid provides a targeted carbon-to-nitrogen ratio, acting as a biological spark plug for the sleeping cells. Then, at 12 p.m., solar photons hit the water at maximum strength. This energy triggers the newly awakened microbes to multiply rapidly. They consume the toxic slurry, breaking down complex garbage into simple nutrients. Within days, the ecology shifts. The microbes consume the pollution, turning a foul-smelling swamp into a nutrient-rich biological tonic known as a neuro-emo booster. When the farmer pumps this treated, nutrient-dense water onto their fields, the soil ecology begins to heal. The booster reinforces the plant's internal signaling and immune response. This makes the crops naturally resilient to harsh weather and diseases, acting like an immunity drop for the harvest. Because the plants have built-in defenses, the farmer can stop buying the expensive chemical fertilizers and toxic pesticides that city factories produce. By replacing external chemicals with internal biology, the farmer's input costs drop towards zero. The science physically breaks the maximum retail price trap, halting the cycle of debt. Removing toxic pesticides triggers a widespread ecological shift. Bees and butterflies flood back into the farms in huge numbers, driving up pollination rates and increasing the crop yield naturally. Back at the pond, the revived aquatic food chain allows fish to breed and thrive on their own, handing the village a brand new, zero-cost fishery. This model bypasses government tenders and heavy construction entirely. Because it relies on raw materials found in every village, waste and sunlight, it can be replicated across all 680,000 rural communities simultaneously. The path out of the rural crisis doesn't require centralized machinery. By partnering with the microscopic life right beneath our feet, villages can process their own waste and reclaim their role as wealthy, autonomous producers.